get you right.
Welcome to the Realtor Life Podcast, a part of B&D TV's weekly lineup. I'm your host, Michael G. Davis, broker and CEO of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, also a realtor and business coach. Thank you for joining us today. We have another phenomenal guest lined up for you. But before we bring them on, I want to remind you that we are streaming live to the Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm business Facebook page and YouTube channel. So for those of you all that are tuning in live, we invite you to participate in the show by sharing your comments and questions in the live chat. Your engagement means a lot to us. Now, if you have any real estate needs, whether it's buying a new house, selling your current property, or even considering a career in real estate, maybe you're exploring a new brokerage opportunity, I want you to stick around after the show for a special message tailored just for you. Now, let's get to the exciting part. I am super delighted to introduce a very special guest today. This is actually one of our premium vendors that's going to be participating with our annual real estate summit that's happening on October 18th. I want to bring them to the stage as our guest. He's a real estate professional. He's a culture seeker. I want to bring to the stage today, Mr. Cullen.
Hey, Michael. Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
I'm super excited to have you here today, my brother. Listen, before we dive into the conversation, let me take a moment to share the motivation behind the show, Cullen. With 20 years of experience in the real estate industry, I've noticed that real estate professionals aren't always appreciated as they should be. Our clients, our customers, even sometimes our colleagues tend to overlook the fact that we are people with passions and multifaceted personalities. So I created this platform as an opportunity for people like yourself to showcase the diverse interests and talents beyond just real estate. Along the way, we also offer a bit of coaching to help everyone succeed. I'm sure that the audience is going to want to connect with you after the interview, Cullen. So where can they find you on social media?
Well, we have Rental Karma. You just search Rental Karma on Facebook or Instagram. You can find it, as well as rentalkarma.com. And we have a partner program there we'll talk about a little bit. You can reach out to us that way also. So we have over 1,300 partners in the real estate and mortgage industry that we work with.
I love it, man. Well, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. It's great to know more, and our audience is going to learn more about what you have to offer as we continue to talk through this. But before we jump into it, right, I'm going to start you off like I start all of our guests. Like I said, this is about hobbies. This is what you're doing in spite of real estate. So what kind of hobbies are you and your family into?
Well, I grew up fishing and running around in the woods as a kid. I still love doing that. It's a lot of fun. And when I was young, I actually grew up on the other side of the tracks. Grew up with a single mom and a single wide trailer and a trailer park. And my grandpa actually gave me a golf club when I was about 14 and took me out to the golf course. And I actually got really good really fast to the point where it paid for me to go to college. And it was it really was a door opener for me to get out of the trailer park and then see a different side of the world. And it's been one of those lifelong things that stayed with me forever. My kid just started playing last year, and it's great because it's a lifelong thing you get to do with your kid, Yeah.
So you get to, so now, with your kid, you're revisiting that love that you had, that experience that you had with golfing.
Yeah. And I love to see him get a little frustrated when he doesn't hit the perfect shot, and he learns from it, and he doesn't give up, and he sticks it out because he's a go-getter himself. He's a perfectionist. So it's fun to watch. And it's just great to get 5 hours of time with your 17-year-old. That's pretty good,
Yeah, you took the word right out of my mouth, because that's what I was going to ask. How old was he? So is this your only son, or you have?
Yeah, he's my only son, and I do brag about him. He's with great grades. He's trying to go to MIT or to Georgia Tech or one of those good schools. He got the grades for it. But when he was before he even turned 16, he started his own business online, and he actually just about 3 months ago bought his first car and paid cash for it. He bought himself a $15,000 Tesla. He sells vintage clothing from like the 90s from really unique designers that are hard to find. He buys his inventory from Japan and China and Europe, and he has an Instagram following with 10,000 followers, and he sold them.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got a healthy net worth at the age of 17. It's pretty impressive.
Wow, that is pretty impressive, man. He can teach you a little something, huh, Cullen?
Totally, I tell you, I as an entrepreneur, you think, oh, it'd be great. Your kids come along and ask you, he shares with me his highs and lows, and once in a while he'll ask for a little direction. But I find I ask him for direction as often whenever I'm, in a procrastination mode. It's like tell him what he's like. Focus on this and that and this, Dad. And I'm like, okay, good idea.
I love that. Well, Cullen, because a lot of our audience is local, so they assume a lot of the times when I'm speaking with people that they're local, they're here from Houston. But why don't you share with everybody where you're actually calling us from?
Yeah, I'm in Boulder, Colorado. It's
Colorado.
A little suburb in the small mountain up against the mountains outside of Denver.
Yeah,
and been in Colorado for 23 of the last 25 years. Before that, I grew up in the mountains of Tennessee and as a kid and so forth. And
yeah. So how'd you land? How'd you end up landing in Colorado and being there for, an extended period of time?
Yeah, well, I was in the golf business. After getting a scholarship, I actually worked as a golf pro, teaching lessons at some of the elite private country clubs around the country. You think of places, where the rich folks go or whatever. And I was there, and I got to meet all kinds of crazy folks that I never thought I would have bumped into in life. And finally, when after it was about 6-7 years in, and I decided I'd come to Colorado once on a vacation, and I knew I wanted to get out of the golf business and do something entrepreneurial. And I just packed up my car and moved out here with $800 in my pocket. No job, no nothing, just the stuff in my car. And within 2 days, I had an apartment and a job. and then about a year later, I got into being an entrepreneur. And my first company I started was a dial-up internet service provider. If you ever remember the old the
noise.
Yeah, I started a company like that with my spouse, and we did quite nice for many, many years until that technology went away.
And that's the thing about technology, right? It's a phase.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But wow, so just packed up and came to Colorado. That's like spoken like a true entrepreneur, right? That's how we hear those stories. So, all right. So, Cullen, you went from, golf, being a golf pro, operating in that perspective to pivoting, starting your own company, being an entrepreneur, to now landing, did you go from that business to your role with Rental Karma, or was there still some stops in between that?
Yeah, there was one in between. After the technology of dial-up internet went away, we actually opened up bought a commercial building and had a retail, sort of upscale resale consignment clothing business and a cafe. And that was a small mountain town up in Buena Vista, Colorado, a beautiful place to live. Mm-hmm. And when the economy tanked in 2008 and 10, we lost everything we had. So I went from the trailer park to quite success to back to nothing. And
you learned a lot.
I learned a lot. And then that back to nothing, my son's mom was actually from Hawaii. And we had always talked, she'd always been saying, why don't we move back there? We always went on vacation and stuff, but we could never figure it out. We're like, you know what? No, there's no better time than now to go try it. So we went there for over a year and rented a couple of different places. And we weren't sure what we were going to do. We were very entrepreneurial. We were trying to figure it out. And I was looking at my credit report, and I'm like, wow, I don't have any open accounts on my credit report other than I didn't have a car loan because we paid cash, didn't have a credit card, and nothing. I'm like, well, we're paying $2,000 a month in rent. Why is this not on my credit report?
Yeah.
So I just Googled my problem, trying to assign a service to my rent, right? I wasn't thinking anything entrepreneurial at the moment.
Right.
And then I stumbled upon a video on CNN, the Wolf Blitzer, the Situation Room. That show that they had on there for years.
Yeah.
And they said, Experian is now going to accept rent payments on a credit report. And I'm like, hey, that's what I need. I'm like, wow. And I'm like Googling it and go to the Experian website. And I'm like, how can I do this? It turns out it was a bunch of baloney. And that they were only really going to accept data from a very small amount of very large companies that would come and work with them. I started thinking, well, that's not me because I'm just renting from some dude up on the hill,
Right.
and it wasn't going to happen. And I'm like, well, that's not going to work. And I said, so I started looking, and my son's mom says, well, we're a very entrepreneurial. So dig into this. What's the real thing here? Find out there's like over 100 million renters. 70% of them is like me renting from Michael. And Michael is not a professional landlord. He doesn't talk to the credit bureaus. He's just the guy I rent from.
Yeah.
And only about 3% of the market is actually people living in these big apartment companies.
3%.
That's a crazy thought. When you see them all around, you're like, that's where everybody lives. No, right. Not even it at all. And then about 27% or whatever is basically your regional property management companies, campus towns, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
So I realized it was very fragmented, and this thing that Experian had said was never going to happen. And then we came back to Colorado after a year and a half or so, and my son's mom had signed me up for a thing called Denver Startup Weekend. And it's where you go and pitch an idea. And there's like 100 people in a room, coders and designers and entrepreneurs. And the first evening, everybody that wants to pitch can. You get 60 seconds. You pitch your idea, and then they vote on like the top 8 teams.
Okay.
Or the top 8 ideas.
Yeah.
And mine was like third. And people are like, I want rent on a credit report, this and that. And next thing you know, it looked like and everybody you just start talking to says, I want that, and then so forth. Now I'm like, okay, I'll try this out. And then we actually cut a deal, my spouse and I, and that was, she pitched also a different idea. And the deal was whoever had the pitch that actually had any traction had to go and build that company, and the other one was going to get a day job to pay the bills at the house.
Wow. Really?
I got the short straw. I won the thing, and I had to go do the building of the business as opposed to a day job or whatever.
Yeah.
He took an accounting gig for a long time, and I then started, how do you build this company? And I actually called up I found a guy on LinkedIn who actually worked at TransUnion, the credit bureau.
Yeah.
I said, hey, can I take you to lunch? Sure. And I pitched him that idea. He goes, I think that can happen. And I'm like, okay. They go through the process. 2 years later, after up and down trying to get them agreements and everything else, we finally got an agreement with TransUnion to add rental payment history to a credit report.
Wow.
Yeah. Took a while.
Yeah.
Side gigs on the way to make a living, to cover the bills and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I did that all bootstrapped. So no venture capital or anything like that. And then I remember in the first month we had like 83 people sign up to use the service just on word of mouth. The next month we had 400, then the 800, and it was like people started, and it just people just they saw it, they saw the result on their credit report. Yeah. At that time it was just TransUnion because they were the first bureau,
right? And
then they started telling their friends, "Hey, this that," started changing people's lives, and then we got a little further along, and we got Equifax on board. We still haven't got Experian, but that's okay because it's really not relevant when you dig into the details. Yeah, because in the mortgage world, you have what they call tri-merge, which is everything goes into one, and they go in and delete all the duplicates, right? So it really isn't that big a deal, and it's made a huge impact. But since launching it in 2014 to the actual customers, we've helped 125,000 families add rent to a credit report.
Wow, that's amazing, Cullen. And I don't want this to get lost in our audience, right?
Sure.
For many of you all who are not aware, what Cullen is talking about is the company Rental Karma. So you probably heard of this company, and you've heard of how it's impacting people. So Cullen is actually the founder of Rental Karma, and he's the one that created the company. So Cullen, I think that's a great segue into, why don't you talk to my audience about where Rental Karma is right now, what it can actually do, because we're going to have you all at our real estate summit. So why does someone need to engage, or why would somebody need Rental Karma right now for those that need it?
Well, we got over, I think now there's 114 million renters, Michael, and 1 out of 5 Americans doesn't even have a credit score, which is hard to think about when you think about this. This is out of the whole population. Yeah. And those folks aren't bad folks. It just means they never took on debt to have a credit card and generate a score. Because if you don't have anything open, you'll become what they call a credit ghost, and you won't have anything. So we live in a society for what it is here in America, where credit is key unless you have a great big bank account and you're in the top 10%, and you have to have it to get a vehicle, to get to work. We live in a society where that's, we don't have trains, good mass transit for that sort of thing. So those things are a necessity, and having the ability to go in and do it without facing the predatory lenders in our society is incredibly important. So having a good, healthy credit score to get what you need in life is vital.
Yeah.
When we started doing this way back in the day, it took us 6 weeks on average to get rent added to the credit report, because we're new, the process, chasing down landlords. We got that down now to just a couple of days.
Wow.
When somebody signs up, they'll be like, I've been renting 6 years at this place from this person. We go through a verification process, and we get that rent added in there. 6 years of history is quite a big thing, when the average credit age for most people is like 3 years.
Yeah, of course.
So
Cullen, you know how we are, man. We like stories, right?
Yeah.
Success stories, right? So why don't you tell me, 125,000 families. I know there's got to be one story in there, man. It's like mind blowing. Give us
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. So give us the one that's gonna completely knock our socks off, showing the impact and effectiveness of rental karma.
I'll go back to one from a number of years ago, and this is because I grew up, like I said, in the trailer park. Before that, we were in Section 8, like public housing, and I have an affinity for the folks that live there, because nobody wants to be there. They always, you want a better thing for your family and your kids, and you want to have, more prosperity. And the system really kind of keeps people in it. And it really, I can go and tell all the reasonings for that. But we had this one young lady who lived in Inglewood on the southwest side of Chicago, which is kind of known in the news for where Whole Foods put one of the first Whole Foods in a very, very poor part of town, right? And this young lady came to us, and she'd signed up, and I didn't even think much back in those days. This is like 6 years ago, about people using us that are on Section 8. Her portion of the rent wasn't very high, but she came and used our service. She only had like one other, I think, a predatory car loan. She came and used our service, and a couple of steps later, she added, 6 years of rent to her credit report. And within 6 months, this young lady got a better job, made more money. Her credit score had jumped from like 580 to 680, 690. That score jump happened in a short period of time, because she got some good directions from us on what to do other than just rent. We told her to go get a credit card, and how to use it. But within 6 months, she had exited the system and bought a house using down payment assistance. Wow. And she got to put her kids into the best STEM school in the southwest side of Chicago, which was like, super hard to get into, but she got a house right in that zone and the whole bit. And it opened up my eyes that there are thousands of people that use our service that are on Section 8 alone.
Yeah.
We actually ended up starting a nonprofit, Michael, called Total Access and Impact, where we actually provide that service to families in public housing that are in the self-sufficiency program, where we provide it to them for free.
Wow.
Yeah. And for $100 per family, we get them 720 credit ready, most of it in about 8 weeks.
And $100, man. I was thinking, for the story that you just told, Cullen, I'm thinking this lady spent thousands of dollars to get that done.
It's not, because all we really did, when I've helped, I personally have gone through the credit review process with over hundreds of these families in public housing, and it blows my mind. The average folks that use our service, they see about a 40-point increase when they add 2 years of rent to their report.
Yeah.
But the people in public housing saw 70 points.
Wow. Why?
2 simple reasons. One, they've been there a lot longer. So 6, 7, 8 years of history is way better than 2. It's just math. Right. Credit scores are 4th grade math. It's not hard. Once we understand where the math maths, where it happens, and we understand it. So we did that, and then I looked at on there, and like I said, most of them only have one open account on the report, and it might even be a $300 collection from 3 years ago that generated a 580 credit score. But you go add 8 years of rent, you get them a credit card and show them how to do it, they can jump up so fast because it's easier to make big steps when you're further down the ladder. You know, when you're 700, you got 5 years of rent. You're not going to go to 800. The math doesn't work that way, you know. But that's a huge part of it, and it's just it can help anybody. And I think what's really important about it, Michael, is that when you use our service, we do a landlord verification. So you don't have to talk with these big companies. You don't have to pay your rent online. You don't even have to pay your rent out of a checking account. Because only about 40% of Americans consistently pay rent out of a checking account.
Yeah.
There's breaks, something happens, you got to go get a money order, cash, whatever the situation is.
Right.
We use Venmos and things like that these days. But it doesn't matter how you pay your rent, you can use our service, as well as it doesn't matter who you rent from, which is awesome. So like Michael could be my landlord, but Michael could also be my uncle. And well, we flip it around, I'm older than you. But just say he could be my brother and I'm renting from him. It's okay that you own the property and then I'm renting from you. As long as I can prove you're the owner of the property because you're on the deed with the county, Harris County, you're on there. And then we verify that when Cullen moved in, how much he pays. And I have an address verification process and lo and behold, boom, there it is.
But we would still need a lease agreement or something in place, huh?
No,
don't need a lease agreement. Oh my goodness.
The reason being is that these days the internet has provided us a lot of ways to create things out of thin air. You can create a utility bill, you can create a pay stub, and now we've had to build ways to verify that information. So when we talked about this early on with the Bureau, first they wanted us to get a copy of the driver's license of the landlord. And that wasn't going to happen. Nobody wanted to do it, right? But when we worked out if we could talk with them and do like what they call the KBA, ask you a couple of DMV kind of questions, I can verify your identity. And it's obvious that, I've got address history for this person and things like that. So the lease agreements, because you can generate them and somebody could just send that in, the bureaus and ourselves, we decided that wasn't nearly as good of a process because of that. So.
Wow. But it makes it a whole lot easier on the other side of things, as far as helping people and doing business with people. And I want people to understand, like when they hear things 40 points, 70 points, like those are big, those are very impactful when it comes to someone that says they want to purchase a home or they want to have access to down payment assistance. Because if I can, I have to be at a 620 in many, or 640 in many cities and locations to be able to access down payment assistance resources. So if I'm at a 600, right, that extra 40 points may give me access to, in some instances, close to $100,000 worth of resources.
Exactly. I mean, it opens up your ability to move to different neighborhoods, to better schools. Maybe you were only qualified for a 2-bedroom house, but you needed a 4-bedroom because there's, work from home and there's a new kid on the way, whatever the situations. But I say a credit score is a great aid into attainability. Like what more can you attain? It's not just about affordability, but what can you attain through a better credit score? And there's a huge difference what you can attain with a 620 versus a 720. It's a big, big difference.
So Cullen, I mean, when I talk to entrepreneurs, fellow entrepreneurs like myself, when we put in a lot of energy and effort, when we build these organizations that require a lot of our energy, it requires a lot of our mental space. But what drives us, like there's a fulfillment and a passion, right? So you're in this rental karma. I want to hear like why was it so important to you to create a vehicle like this for people?
It's evolved over the years, and a lot of it's gone back to the reflection of how I grew up and realizing that we live in a society that does not balance this. The wealth gap has been very popular in the last 10 years. And the reality is the wealth gap is widening, not shrinking. And that's sad in a country where my aunts and uncles and grandparents had good middle-class jobs. And, we had a much more equal playing field at certain points. And I realized that the government's not going to do it. There's not one big thing that's going to come in and make a change to just make things more equal and to provide more equality. And I said, well, what I'm doing can actually really move this needle. You say 125,000, it sounds like a lot, but when you do the math on how many people, it's a rounding error, you know. And I really want to see how this mission, because we're a very mission driven company, can add more zeros to that. Not so anybody gets crazy rich or anything, but just to make that difference, because home ownership is the number one driver of personal wealth in this country, no matter what side of the tracks you grow up on.
Right.
You know, and if you can make that happen and give people that boost, that's pretty good. I mean, we do these one-on-ones, Michael, folks. I can tell you, it's amazing how last week I had a 60-year-old lady. She was on the phone crying to me because of how happy she was that she found this and that she got some good directions. And it just, you know, people say, "Can I pray for you?" It's like, it's amazing how much of an impact it makes on people's lives.
Yeah.
And when you show them the good directions on how to stay 720 credit ready, and they realize it's not nearly as complicated as they thought, then I'm sure you've seen many people where they have that anxiety from all this, right?
Yeah.
And the stress involved with it, and what are they going to do to make it better? And
I love that.
This is great for that.
No, I absolutely love the work that you're doing, Cullen. And, you know, you're going to be down here October 18th. You're going to be, you know, Rental Karma is going to be there. You're one of our premium vendors, and as well as you should be, because what you're providing to the marketplace is very needed, especially personally in the Black community, Black and brown community. Yep. So I want you to speak. If somebody's out there and they've seen the information about the summit, you know, they may have even registered for it, but then, you know, that voice starts talking to them like, "Oh, well, it's a Saturday morning, I can go do this." Like, I want you to talk to that person, that ideal person, to where it's critical for them to be there and come have a conversation with you on Saturday.
Yeah. For one, I'm going to be doing free one-on-one mentoring sessions with me personally. So come on down for that, 20 minutes. We're going to go through, look at your credit, see exactly where you are. Within 20 minutes, you're going to be close to getting an A+ in credit education. I'm going to send you one with a little bit of homework, about half hour's worth, in the Rental Karma Learning Center, and you're going to have such a different level of confidence about this stuff that you're going to be doing just fine. I call it's like driver's ed for credit. You don't run stoplights. You don't run 100 miles an hour down the interstate, do you? No. So you just need to know what rules not to break in the world of credit so that you don't go backwards. And a lot of them are super simple. You just didn't understand what action resulted in, you know, what result.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's a good word, Cullen, is that a lot of, and I know many of us have probably heard this scripture where God said, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." A lot of it, when it comes to credit, like on the outside, it seems so overwhelming. But it does. To your point, it's so simple. Most people just don't understand the formula.
Yeah, I coach it or teach it in the learning center and in person, like we have it in school. A+ to F. Because where in our life do we have a scale that's 350 to 850? Everything is 100% in this country, right? There's never a 120% chance of rain. It caps out at 100. Right. You know, your dollar breaks up into 100 pennies. You know. Or grades in school are 0 to 100, right? And I show people how 720 is an A, 620 is a C-. You know, 600 is a D-. And if you're in a 500, you got an F, and you got to, you know, you shouldn't even be thinking about a mortgage until you're in the 680 range.
Absolutely.
And you should do that by just getting a good understanding of what steps you need to take in the right direction. And so often it's just simple mistakes that happen. I get people that'll come in with 3 open accounts or 6, but 3 of them are older, and they had just opened up 3 credit builder accounts. So then they all show up brand new in a credit report, and they wonder why their score went down 60 points. Well, it looks like you had triplets, is what it looks like, and your insurance just went through the roof, and you know your score is going to go down. But you can, like that kind of thing, you can undo that by just simply closing the new account, which is a common thing. People go, "I'm not supposed to close accounts." Don't close old accounts. A brand new one that was a mistake at the Target store when they asked you, you know, they upsell you.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. You know, it's not going to.
It sounds like, Cullen, is just, there are simple rules that you got to follow. And when you break the rules, just like in school, when you break the rules, there are consequences.
You get a bad grade.
So when they come see you on the 18th, they're going to learn what the rules are. They're going to learn the rules of the game, and then they can go and they can implement those things. And, many people, especially when it comes to credit, they think, oh, it's going to take years to get this stuff fixed. And what you're sharing with us now and what you're going to be sharing with us on the 18th is that it doesn't even take as close to that amount of time once you know the rules and you start following the rules for things to change.
Out of the thousands of reports I've looked at personally with people, maybe less than 2% actually could benefit from credit repair.
Wow. Really?
I'm telling you, it's just positive steps in the right direction and understanding the game.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not that hard. And folks, if you want to, before you even come to the event, visit rentalkarma.com/learn, and that's the learning center. You go through that, you spend an hour there. That's like a full semester of driver's ed, okay, for credit. And I love it because people tell me when I'm on the phone, like, oh, I've been in the learning center. I learned and they feel confident, not confused and frustrated.
So let's say that again for us, Cullen. I'm gonna see if I can get my producers to get that up on the screen. What's that? What's the website?
Yeah, rentalkarma.com/learn, LEARN.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna see if my producer can get that up on the screen. All right.
Quiz built into it, so you can go through the content, take a 1 minute long quiz, make sure you got comprehension of it. People, after you take the quiz, you can enter and you get a chance to win free rent reporting also. It's pretty cool.
I love that. And another thing that I really love about what you've added as Rental Karma has evolved is that you understood it was more than just reporting my rental payments to the bureau. You recognize that there was a gap as far as financial literacy. And now you've added these one-on-ones so people can be educated. That education piece was one of the biggest driving forces for where you were seeing the challenges as well. Is that true?
That's true. And I'm so proud to say when I come down to Houston, I told you I'm going to be meeting with California Cox. I'm actually not meeting her, met her many times. She's taken me under her wing. She's a mentor to me. Mm-hmm. And she is one of the most renowned persons in this space. And it really has motivated me to really put more effort into it to make sure that everybody has this core knowledge that gets them where they want to go. Two other things, Michael, before I don't know how much time I have, but I didn't mention this, but we're in the process of working to being able to add utilities to credit reports.
Wow.
Retroactively, up to 4 of them: gas, electric, water, cell phone, or phone bill.
That's life-changing.
And if you think about it, in Colorado, we have Excel Energy. And in 15 years, I've had 4 different addresses. Okay. But guess what stayed the same the whole time?
Your electrical bill?
My account number.
Wow.
It doesn't change when you move to a new place. So I have 15 years of history there. Right. Yeah. Same thing with my cell phone. I think I've had it for over a decade with Cricket.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of just because in renting, you might have somebody that's only been there somewhere for 6 months or so. Mm-hmm. 6 months isn't nearly as good as 5 years or something.
Right.
So that's a big one. And the other thing is that in the mortgage industry, it's been in the news somewhat, but a lot of people don't know this is coming. There's a big upgrade happening in the mortgage industry that's been in the works for 5 years. And the new director came in a few months ago. His name is Pulte at FHFA. Mm-hmm. And he said, we're not delaying on this upgrade anymore. And what upgrade is that? The upgrade is the credit score model they've been using for underwriting mortgages, FICO 4, FICO 5. Those are 26-year-old math formulas.
Whoa.
Could you imagine seeing somebody with a little flip phone or walking around? Like my mom carried one around for years, but that's basically flip phone technology, right? Yeah. And you see people, they walk in with their smartphone and they have the Credit Karma app. And in the mortgage world, the folks have to kind of backpedal and go, well, that's not the score we use. It's not really accurate or whatever. The reality is that app is actually the most modern credit score model in the country.
Wow.
It takes rent, utilities, and all the other things, discounts, medical debt, et cetera.
Yep.
And when the upgrade is buttons pushed, the mortgage industry is going to choose from FICO, what's called 10T. Imagine they skip from 4 to 10. They skip 5, 7, 8. So it covers years of skipping. And they're going to be using Vantage 4.0, which is the same one in the Credit Karma app. Wow. So the beauty is the consumer transparency for the confusion of all this stuff is going to go away.
Yep.
Because the same one you have there is the same one you're going to walk in and see when you pull for the mortgage. And that way, if they need a couple of steps in the right direction, it's going to be easier for them to understand that, to make those moves to get them 720 credit ready.
No, I absolutely appreciate you sharing that with us, Cullen. Those are exciting times, and it's definitely needed. It's good to see that the industry's catching up. So we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on that.
Yep. Now, it's anticipated, Michael, that 33 million more Americans will be credit score eligible after the upgrade.
Wow.
For a credit score eligible for a mortgage. And the VA for veterans, they already did the upgrade in August of last year. So it's already been done.
Wow, on the VA
so if you're a veteran, and that made it so that 2.5 million more veterans, service members, like whatever existing, are now credit score eligible for a mortgage also.
How about that?
Just because it sees the world with rent and utilities and different things that we didn't have 26 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Before we wrap up, Cullen, man, I like to express my gratitude. You've been an incredible guest. I know everybody that's watching it and those that are going to watch this later feel the same way. You're a wealth of knowledge. Definitely want to say thank you for joining and sharing the valuable insights, man. Your presence really has made the episode truly special. Before we say goodbye, do you have any parting words or advice you'd like to share with our listeners? Maybe something we didn't mention that you would like to share?
Sure. And that is, I'm assuming most people here that are going to be realtors or mortgage folks in your industry. We have a partner program at Real Karma. Just go to the Real Karma website, click partners, where we partner with realtors and mortgage professionals. You got clients that need help. This helps you close more deals. It's that simple. And it also helps you fill your pipeline for future deals. You know, the real estate market has been challenging for 3 years, to say the least. And this is time to, get that sales funnel filled up with good qualified leads so that you don't have to feel the pains of the last couple of years.
Okay. All right. Well, look, Cullen, I know I'm going to be seeing you here in about 10 days or less. And I'm super excited to see you in person. I know you're going to be here at the summit. Again, I want to thank you for your time today and sharing things. And again, if we'll get that website up on the screen again, rentalkarma.com/learn. In the meantime, you all go visit that website, learn more about Rental Karma, and take a hard look at, if you're a renter, take a hard look at aligning yourself with this service to help you achieve your credit goals a lot sooner, especially if you have the hopes of home ownership. So thank you again, Cullen. I really appreciate it, man. And be safe out there in Denver until we see you.
Awesome. See you soon. Have a good day.
Bye. All right. Well, family, look, that was an amazing episode. I absolutely want to bring them on board before we started our summit. Like I said, that's one of our premium vendors. We're going to have a number of premium vendors that are going to be participating in this year's summit. So we're going to be sending out information here over the next 10 days to all those that have already registered, so you can be up to speed on what's happening with the summit. Now, if you don't know about the summit just yet, if you're thinking about selling your house, if you're thinking about buying a home, if you're thinking about investing in real estate, then you need to come out and you need to visit our annual real estate summit that we're having on October 18th. It's going to be at the Bethel's Empowerment Center. We're bringing together real estate experts. We're bringing together people that are going to talk about pricing strategies. We're bringing together expert in real estate investors that are going to educate. There's going to be an opportunity for networking. For buyers, there's going to be opportunity to speak with individuals about these different resources that are available, up to $150,000 for a financial resource to help you purchase a home. We're going to have all these experts and individuals under one roof and in one place, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's October 18th. You don't have to worry about finding a babysitter. We're going to have people there that for the kids. We're going to have things there for the kiddos. We're going to have the fire department's partnering with us, so they're going to have one of their trucks out there. We're going to have a local author. His name is Natrix. He's going to be reading to the children from his series of children's books. We're going to have them there. We're going to have different games and things for the children to participate in. We even have the Houston Public Library is going to be there. So you don't have to worry about leaving your kids at home. Bring them with you so you can get the information, and you're going to have trusted individuals that's going to be there to take care. It's that important to us as a real estate brokerage firm for you to not only get this information, for you to meet the experts that are going to be there to help guide you, for you to get access and see the resources that we made sure that all excuses were covered. So it's October 18th, 9 a.m. You're going to learn a multitude of things. If you're a first-time home buyer, first-time seller, or first-time investor, you need to be in a place. All you have to do is go to churchrealestatesummit.com to be able to grab your free ticket. Although it's free, there are limited seats, so you want to make sure that you don't miss out. But go there right now, churchrealestatesummit.com, grab your free ticket, come ready to leave with a plan, and get all of your real estate needs taken care of. Now, as a lead up to our real estate summit this weekend, I want to share with you the Faith and Affordable Housing Summit that's being brought together by Council Member Tiffany D. Thomas, right? She's the chair of the Housing and Affordability Committee, and this is their second annual Faith and Affordable Housing Summit. It's on this Saturday, October 11th at the Kingdom Builder Center. This year, we're excited to welcome Representative Emmanuel Cheever II, along with lay pastor Kirby John Caldwell, visionary of Windsor Village, whose leadership transformed 234 acres into a thriving community of homes, schools, retail, medical facilities, and senior housing. Their insight and example will inspire our work as we continue to build strong partnerships between faith, communities, and housing initiatives. In addition to these powerful voices, you will hear from banking executives, developers, and housing leaders, including Guarantee Bank, Texas First Bank, Enterprise Community Partners, and the City of Houston's Housing and Community Development Department and Harris County panel discussion, where they're going to explore how faith institutions can partner with developers, what financial institutions look for in community development deals, how to do business with the City of Houston, funding mechanisms and grant processes, success stories of faith-led development, community resources such as heirs property support, and Tangled Title Solutions. So please be sure to register in advance, secure your spot, and make sure you secure your spot as soon as possible. The website to register, you can either click on this QR code, or you can go to bit.ly/second annual FAHH. So that's the number 2 ND ANNUAL uppercase FAAHS to be able to reserve your seat. Again, this is a free event, but seats are limited. So make sure you go and you reserve your seat today. All right. Finally, let's talk a little bit about BND TV. As you know, we go live on Facebook and YouTube. We start things out on Monday with our Monday Night Live, where every Monday we go live at 7 with myself and Mr. Ricardo Davis. I know yesterday's episode was amazing because we had questions that spoke about, especially the real estate professionals, as it related to leveraging and utilizing the summit that we're having here in about 10 days. So make sure you go to our YouTube channel, see that past episode, and you can learn about and see what everybody discussed. Coming up at 2:30, we're going to be doing our Real Estate Happy Hour live. It's a BND TV. It's a BND TV show where we go live on Facebook and YouTube with the hosts and special guests, discussing social media trending topics, current events, real estate industry related topics, along with some real estate advice to consumers and realtors. It's real estate professionals talking about randomness. The best part about this show is that the audience has the opportunity to get on the screen with us and share their thoughts. So that's going to be coming up here in about an hour or so. We're going to be talking about trends, real estate insights, marketing updates, professional development, and casual conversations. So you definitely want to be a part and you want to participate. I did skip over our Realtor Life podcast. So that's what you just experienced. I brought on my friend Cullen, but this is something that we do every week on Tuesday. We go live at 12:30 with myself. We dive into the life passions of real estate professionals. If it's something that you're interested in being a part of the Realtor Life podcast, all you got to do is scan the QR code and we'll get your book. All right. Now on Thursday, which is our final show in BND TV, it's the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. It's a real estate talk show hosted by author, serial entrepreneur and co-founder of Brooks and Davis real estate firm, Larry W. Brooks, along with professional realtor and real estate investment expert, Mr. Rick Davis. The show delivers no hype education and expert perspectives in a fast-paced, entertaining style. Check it out. There's a new episode released every week, so be sure to subscribe today. If you haven't, speaking of subscribing, if you haven't already subscribed to the Houston Real Estate Channel, make sure you go there now. That's powered by Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, where we explore vibrant neighborhoods in and around the city of Houston. It's your comprehensive guide for exploring these neighborhoods. You're going to get valuable insights on Houston's real estate market with our diverse range of videos, including in-depth market reports and essential tips for buyers and sellers. And then finally, make sure you stay in the loop by following us on LinkedIn for industry insights, Instagram for behind-the-scenes fun, Facebook for lively discussions, and YouTube for exclusive video content. Join the community, search Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm on each platform and hit follow or subscribe. Don't miss out on the latest updates and exciting content. We will definitely see you there. Again, if you have a real estate need, like maybe looking to buy a house, maybe you're putting your house on the market for sale, maybe you're interested in career in real estate or looking for a change in brokerage, make sure you stay on for a very special message directly for you. That's a wrap for today's episode of the Realtor Life Podcast. So great that we had Cullen come on today, the founder of Rental Karma. He's one of our premium vendors that's going to be at our Real Estate Summit on October 18th. So you make sure you come out, learn more, take advantage of your free one-on-one. When you increase your credit score, it changes your life. And you don't know until you actually do it, right? When you go from having not so good credit to good credit, it impacts so many aspects and so many areas of your life. We want to do that for you. So make sure you come out on Saturday, speak with the right people, and let's get you on a path for changing your life. Again, that's a wrap. Be sure to join us next time for more engaging discussions with amazing real estate professionals. And remember, stay tuned after the show for a special message tailored just for you. I'm Michael G. Davis, broker and CEO of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. I'm also a realtor and business coach. Here's to coaching you into the cosmos, people. It's time to take off, baby. Make it a great one.
Hey there, if you're in the midst of a real estate journey, whether you're buying, selling, getting licensed, or already licensed, this video is just for you. I've got some outstanding news to share, so stick around. Considering buying a home? We're here to help. We offer, at no cost or commitment, to schedule a showing for any property in the Houston Metroplex. When you choose our firm, we'll be with you every step of the way, guiding you through the process. Want to learn more? Visit our website or give us a call at the number shown. If you're thinking about selling your home, we've got some great services to offer, again at no cost or commitment. We can provide a free neighborhood buying and selling activity report, showing you the recent market activity in your area. We also offer a free in-person property condition home evaluation, where one of our professionals will provide recommendations to help sell your home faster and for more money. When you choose our firm to sell your home, we'll ensure it reaches more active home buyers than any other realtor. To learn more about this, visit our website or give us a call at the number shown. Real estate agents, are you ready to take your career to new heights with a brokerage that puts you first? At Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, we offer something no one else does, a powerful money-back guarantee. We believe in our support so much that if you don't close a transaction within 90 days, we'll refund every dollar you've paid to us. And if a year goes by and you still haven't closed, we'll even refund your payments to HAR, MLS, and Supra. Your success is our priority. At Brooks and Davis, you're not just joining a brokerage, you're becoming part of a community that's dedicated to your growth. Whether you're a licensed agent ready to elevate your career, or you're on your way to earning your license, we've got a place for you. Even if you are not a Brooks and Davis real estate agent, you can unlock the full potential of your real estate career by becoming a part of our free membership. Join our supportive family where you can grow, innovate, and be recognized. Embrace diversity as we reshape real estate with impactful solutions for all communities. Make a difference by engaging in local initiatives for a brighter future. Elevate your education beyond transactions and prepare for success, including taking the real estate exam. Enjoy accessibility and easy collaboration within our vibrant real estate community. And here's the best part, it won't cost you a dime. The only investment required is your time, the rest is on the house. Are you ready to soar? Join us now and let's make your real estate journey unforgettable. If you already have a real estate license, we invite you to explore the World Changers community. And if you're in the process of obtaining or interested in getting your real estate license, discover the exclusive opportunities waiting for you with the Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm Student Affiliate Membership. Visit the link on the screen today. Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm, your trusted partner in real estate.